Your eyes are getting worse with every generation, and it's happening far too fast to blame on your genes. By 2050, half the planet is on track to be short-sighted. A couple of generations ago, almost no one was. Something in the modern world is quietly reshaping the human eye.
Look at where it hit hardest. In parts of East Asia, 80 to 90% of teenagers now need glasses to see across a room. Their grandparents? A small fraction. 2 generations, same gene pool. The DNA didn't change, the childhood did.
And here's what's actually happening, because it isn't weak eyes. In a short-sighted eye, the eyeball has physically grown too long. Light that should land on the retina focuses just in front of it instead, so the distance blurs. It's not strain, it's a shape problem. Your eye was tuned for a very different life. For 2 million years, vision meant scanning a bright, open distance, spotting prey, a predator, a far-off storm. Sharp farsight in daylight was survival. The eye that did that had to grow to exactly the right length and then stop. And that's the quiet miracle of a growing eye. It somehow knows when to quit. Grow too little and the world stays blurry. Too much and it never clears. So the eye listens for a signal that says, "You're the right size now. Stop." For most of history, that signal was everywhere. Today, it's missing. The signal is light, specifically bright outdoor light. When it floods the retina releases dopamine, and that dopamine acts as a brake, telling the eyeball to stop stretching. Bright days kept the brake on. It is the simplest safety system imaginable, and we've quietly switched it off. Because indoor light is far dimmer than it feels. A well-lit room is around 500 lux. Step outside and you are bathed in 10 to 100,000. Your eye can't tell a bright office from a cave, so the brake never fully engages and the eyeball keeps growing. Now add the other half. Hold a book or a phone close for hours, and the eye works hard to focus near, a posture it almost never held in the wild. Sustained close focus nudges the eye to elongate too. Modern childhood does both at once. Too much near, too little light. Here's the clue that cracked it. Children who spend more time outdoors become short-sighted far less often, no matter how much they read, no matter whether their parents wear glasses. It wasn't the books that did the most damage, it was the missing daylight. And the dose is small. Roughly 2 hours a day outside, about 13 hours a week, measurably slows the eye's overgrowth in childhood. Not a treatment, not a drug, just light, the signal the eye was always waiting for. Genes still matter, they set the range, but the environment decides where you land inside it. No gene pool shifts in 2 generations. This speed can only be the world we've built. We moved childhood indoors, and the eye grew to fit the room. And here's the hard part. Once the eye has grown too long, it stays that way. Glasses bend light to clear the blur, but they don't shrink the eyeball. The length is permanent. And that matters more than your prescription, because a long eye is a stretched one. Stretch a balloon and its wall goes thin. Stretch an eye and the delicate retina lining the back thins with it. High short-sightedness raises the risk of the retina tearing away 5 to 6-fold, lifts the odds of glaucoma by around half, and can scar the very center of your sight. This is why short-sightedness is no longer an harmless inconvenience. In parts of East Asia, it has become a leading cause of permanent vision loss. The glasses fix today's blur. The stretched eye is a bill that can quietly come due decades later. And the window to act is narrow. The eye does most of its growing in childhood. That's when the break matters and when daylight does its work. Once growth is finished, you can't shrink the eye back to size. Prevention beats correction here because correction can't reach this. But that also means it is largely preventable. Get children into real daylight every day, and the overgrowth slows dramatically. The most powerful tool we have against the myopia epidemic isn't high-tech or expensive. It's a door to the outside, opened daily. This is the mismatch Darwin's idea predicts. An eye shaped by 2 million years of bright, far horizons, now raised in dim rooms on close screens. Your genes still expect the sun. We gave them a ceiling and a phone, and the eye grew to match the world it was given. So the prescription is almost laughably old-fashioned. Send kids outside, daily. Light is the medicine. Break up close work with distance. Look far and often. Pull screens back from the face. You can't outfocus an eye that's already overgrown, but you can keep one from growing wrong. Your eyes aren't failing you. They're growing exactly as instructed, by a world that forgot to send the one signal that says stop. So before the next generation grows up indoors, the question is simple. When did you last give your eyes the horizon they were built for?